Welcome to book 3, guys. Beast Quest, Arcta the Mountain Giant. Actually, I was surprised by this one. The last time I read it, it didn't feel like much of a good book. But rereading it, it's actually pretty an awesome book. Especially when they get to the giant. It's similar to Sepron in a way, but if that, like, similar as in the climax bit when they fight the beast. I'm gonna go for it down, I would say it's in 2 acts, like all the others. If you can hear anything in the background, it's my sister's music, kind of thing. She does that not. Anyway, but it's normally 2 acts. First parts are... The first half is when they're fighting landslides, similar to how Sepron was doing tidal waves. Arcta, yeah, that's it. Arcta is doing landslides to keep the people away and stuff. So, Arcta decides to go hide, roar in the mountains and stuff because he can't see, while Tom and Eleanor come across some villagers with this boy in the mountains telling that there's a giant. The boy says there's a giant and everyone else doesn't believe him. And they decide that, you should go back and stuff. Eventually, they help out. There are these 3 thieves, and they try to steal stuff off this old guy. The old guy turns out to be the mayor. Pardon me. But the old guy turns out to be the mayor, and the thieves get trapped into a fire. So they help out the thieves because it's the right thing to do. And then the leader of the thieves, Randall, tells them directions to find Arcta. And they go to the mountains and find them. And they reach the Valley of the Eagles or something like that. Yeah, Valley of the Eagles. And then they see this is where it gets interesting. Eleanor and Silver get trapped in a cave. And that's a subplot, because Silver is acting weirdly in this one. He keeps disobeying Eleanor's commands and runs off all the time. And that's a subplot. I like that. That's a nice, more little level of detail. I don't know if that happened in the other 2 books before now, but if it didn't, well, there's now. So, Eleanor and Silver get trapped in a cave because of a landslide, and then Arcta comes, and then Tom's by himself again, just like in with Sepron, to fight the beast. So it's similar to that, but in the situation, there's no, Tom doesn't need to keep up with breaths. The only problem is that someone else's life is on the line. So, he goes, and since the beast is blinded, he can't see him, but he can smell him and sense him, all that. So, he decides to risk his life and become a distraction, to get the beast away from Eleanor before he senses the wolf barking. Eventually, he gets on top of him, and then they fall off onto the edge of the cliff. And the beast's arms are on top of a rock, trying to keep him up there. Tom swings over on a rope that the thief gave him to help save him from the fire. And he swings on, unties the knot, and that's how the beast is freed. It's pretty cool. They go up and rescue Eleanor. And there you go. And it turns out that the giant is actually a Cyclops, because he only has 1 eye, so that's a surprise. I suppose he's meant to be called Arcta the Mountain Cyclops, but since you don't know that he's a Cyclops at the end of the book, I'll let it slide. It's not that much of a big loss. And of course, he gets a new power item, and he gets a new a feather for his shield. I forgot to mention this, but if you didn't know, the other powers were Ferno's scale protects him from fire, Sepron's tooth protects him from water, and this one helps him stop from falls or get some gusts or something like that. So there's some good stuff in this. I would say it's better than Sepron just by a 2 nicks or something. Just because it feels like that extra subplot bit and that bit of tension with Eleanor's life on the line, it feels more upstakey. And the fact that the beast was going to die at a certain point, because he was hanging off the cliff with Tom. So yeah, in all, I actually like this one. This is a really good book, I think. Probably the best one so far. But next is Tagus the Horseman, so who knows, maybe that opinion might change. So this has been Arcta the Mountain Giant. I'm looking forward to read Tagus the Horseman. We'll see you then.